Hello out there, all you wonderful people. This is Andre, the Game Idea Guy. Thank you very much for lending me your time and your ear and listening into another video from me. And this time I'm going to be answering the questions that I got from the first video that's part of this Q&A thing, where it's question the gig one, and this is the gig answers one. So I'm just going to jump in. But like, I didn't get a whole lot of questions. I'm not actually surprised I didn't get a whole lot because it's the first time I'm doing this. People haven't really seen me answer a whole lot of questions in this way, but I kept my word and I did not respond to any of the questions that were asked. So I'm gonna get right into them. You know what? I was about to do them from top to bottom, but that's not the order that they actually came. I have to do them from bottom to top. Um, and forgive me if I say this wrong. I have a feeling I'm going to butcher this name, this username, but Etoxis or Etosis. It could be Etoxis. It'd be Etoxis or Etosis. Um, Question: would you rather play a video game about controlling space probes and possibly contacting alien races? Well, that would depend on how the game is set up because we kind of you kind of have a game out that's somewhat like that in No Man's Sky, but that game isn't quite what they said it would be. It could possibly be built up to what they said it would be, but with all the trouble that Hello Games is in right now, and Sony kind of passing the buck off on that, there would have to be someone that would actually have to sit down and take a really long and dedicated amount of time to developing a really good game out of something like that. But the concept, I like the concept. I would definitely play something like that. I'm kind of open minded that way, especially if just say theoretically, like in this game, you're using these pros to contact different alien races, and depending on what race you run into, you get like these different dialogues, like, and they all sound different. Like, I wouldn't want that static chatter crap where it's just like no. I want them to actually sound like they're saying something. Sort of how, like, think of how Nintendo changed around Midna's they took bits and pieces. Well, like, basically they had an actress speak in English, and then they just flipped it around a bit, but it still sounds like actual words. If something like that was done, I'd be all for it. I'd be ready to play it in a heartbeat because I just don't want it to sound like useless garble just thrown there. So, like, because that gets irritating. That really does get irritating after a while. Okay. Moving on to the next question. White Ace 86. How and who got you interested in video games? Well, the who was my eldest brother. Um, he got me started on video games. Like, I've said it a few times before on different videos and on Gamers at Large podcast that the very first video game I've ever played was Excite Bike on the NES. That was the very first game I'd ever played. I was 2 years old, and apparently I was awesome at the game back then. I really need to work on playing it now because I don't remember how to play it. So, but apparently I was extremely good at that game back then. But what really pulled me into gaming, like once I saw Mario and Mega Man. Like, Mega Man especially because it was like he's a robot running around shooting and blowing things up, and I was like, that's cool, and I want to play it. And I played the hell out of Mega Man 3 a lot when I was younger. Like, I played it almost constant. I played it almost every day when we had an NES back then. I played it nearly every day that game. Uh, but yeah, my eldest brother is the one responsible for getting me into the gaming world. Oddly enough, I'm more knowledgeable about video games than he is now. I mean, back then he would have had me beat, but right now, like if we were to have like a quiz about video games, I would literally I would stomp him because I just know that much more about video games. All right. What is your favorite 3D Mario, and why is that game your favorite? Um, well, I've only, I haven't played Super Mario Sunshine, so I can't judge that one. I've played Mario 64. I've played Galaxy 1 and 2, and then 3D World. And among those, I would say I'd probably say Galaxy is my favorite out of that group. Um, Mostly because it's just the game. It's just so it runs so well, and it's just like it was. Galaxy 2 is just an extension of the first one, so like Galaxy 1 to me is the game that created the play style and made it interesting, and I think that's actually something that I would love to see Nintendo go back to. Hell, if they could, like it might sound weird, but if they could do that and kind of mix in the Sunshine gameplay, that might be something worth actually playing. It might actually be fun. Probably be difficult as all hell to control some of those jumps, but it might actually be fun. Um, as to why, like the why is just simple. Like it was the most unique to me, and it definitely, while I probably had more enjoyment out of Mario 64 because it's an older game. I've played it for a longer period of time. Galaxy it stuck with me once I started playing it, and I actually need to finish that and finish the second one. I actually have to go play them and finish them. All right. And that was from Fruit Puncher, and I meant to say that and I forgot. Sorry, bro. Uh, Brownie Takeshi. It's either Takeshi or Takeshi, depending on how you want to say it. What would you prefer? A cameo of Deadpool in a Spider-Man movie or game, or a cameo of Spider-Man in a Deadpool movie or game? Why you gotta torture me like this, bro? Why you gotta ask me that type of question? See, bad thing is Spider-Man is like overall my favorite superhero. Like just the Peter Parker version of Spider-Man. Like that's my favorite superhero overall. But I really do like Deadpool a lot, cause like just because like how he mouths off and all the weird shit he's ever done. But if I had to really pick, and in this situation, I'd probably pick to have a Spider-Man cameo in a Deadpool game. Simply because Spider-Man has had a ton of games. Spider-Man has been in gaming since before Mario was created. And Deadpool himself, he doesn't really. I don't even think he's been in too many games. I think he's only really had like one or two games that he's been in, and he has one game, but he's only been in like I think two games total, if that. I might be wrong on that. So I think Deadpool as a character would need more exposure, and having Spider-Man show up in a game for him, that'd be probably be pretty decent. And plus, I would like to see more action based games with Deadpool in them. So I think that would be the better choice. Uh, and this is another name I'm probably going to butcher. The Atinatin. What are your top favorite three stages, soundtracks, and bosses in Streets of Rage 2? That's something I would have to really think about. Um, if I was going my favorites, would definitely the first level was definitely one of my favorite levels in Streets of Rage 2. That and the bar song, the theme, the second section of the stage one, as far as the music goes. The bar theme, the music, like it's like mellow and cool, but you're beating the shit out of people at the same time. Um, Then there is the baseball stadium. Like that would be another favorite of mine, along with that soundtrack. Like with that particular song. Like I like that one a lot. Particularly the first area up until you get on the elevator. I like the elevators, the little elevator, the tunnel music, but it's not really. It doesn't give you the same feeling as the other one. Like that song kind of just tells you you're in a critical situation and you need to do everything you can to survive it. Whereas the baseball stadium leading into that is actually like it's got an upbeat rhythm and like I can really get into playing the game with that particular song going, especially in that area. Uh, and for my third favorite area is the shoot. It's stage 7. It's the first section of stage 7 with the conveyor belts and all that stuff, and that song. Whenever I play that game, I intentionally take forever getting through that area so I can listen to the song while I'm playing. Um, yeah, that was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. I mean, it was something I had to think about, but it was a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. That was a good question. And the final question that I have, again from Brownie Takeshi, would you handle a Champions Road type of level in a Sonic game? I'm hoping that you mean like the level of difficulty, and I personally would be fine with it. I don't know. I don't know how many other people would be okay with it. Cause Sonic, sorry, my mustache is making my nose itch a little bit. I gotta trim it down. Um, Sonic games typically are easier than Mario games. To me, anyway. Like, so a level or a set of levels that would be as difficult as Champions Road from Super Mario 3D World, or even just as difficult as the special stages from Super Mario World. Yeah, I would go for it. I'd be happy to play them. This is as much as a glutton for punishment as I am. I mean, I played through Ninja Gaiden 1 through 3 on the NES, so so you can tell I would be happy to play something like that. So I have no problem with it. Um, I would be very, very happy to play something like that, and hopefully the levels are designed well, and I'm not just dying because of bad level design, and I'm actually dying because I did something stupid, and it was my fault. Not like, oh, I'm running with Sonic, he just runs through a fucking wall and shit and falls through the floor. I would be pissed off if that was what happened. But that is it. Those were all. That was all the questions I got. Hopefully next time I'll get a few more questions because again I'm going to keep doing this. Like, so if anybody's interested in asking me questions, I don't care how many you ask. Well, no, I take that back. I'm probably going to put a limit on that because I say I don't care how many you ask. It's going to be somebody that asks me like 15 questions, and I'm gonna be talking basically to that one person for the whole video, and I don't really want to do that. Um, but thank you everybody that sent me a question in, and like they were actually pretty good questions. I actually liked this. There was actually some pretty good questions that had me thinking a little bit. So that's really it. Thank you guys very much for listening in. Keep your eyes and ears up for more of my stuff, and until the next time, enjoy your games and be on the lookout for Question the Gig 2. Peace.